MAGA has absolutely lost their minds over a social media post by that guy who many of you might have forgotten about. It's FBI Director James Comey, the guy fired for not being loyal enough and looking into Donald Trump and all that, a thing that happened and Trump remained president after it. Explicitly corrupt, should be criminal act, but he remained president. Anyway, now they're not mad at Trump, they're mad at him because he posted this on social media. It's sand with stones and shells spelling out 8647, which he captioned "cool shell formation on my beach walk," as if he just came across that, which I think is actually very funny, him implying that was naturally occurring. So if you're not terminally online, you might be like, wait, why are they angry? Well, because what he just said right there by posting that was a clear, indisputable call to unalive the president, and there is no other interpretation of it, okay? That's what it means because that's what the right needs it to mean, because they want to make clear that it's the Democrats that advocate for political violence, not them, except for all of the many times that they've enthusiastically done that. Bit of an issue with that interpretation. And by the way, if you want to say that it could be taken to mean that, that's fine. You could take it to mean that. There are some issues with that interpretation. First of all, I was a waiter and a bartender for many years. 86 just means we're done, we're out, we don't have any more. Okay.
It means take it off the menu.
Or take it off the menu, exactly.
That's explicitly what it means.
It means let's not
offer it to people.
Exactly. This is not a thing that no more. That's what it means. Now, you could say that's a convenient cover. Okay, it's also literally what it means, but that's fine. But the issue is that even in recent like left or Democratic political circles, it just means like we want to get rid of him. It does not mean violent. It doesn't even mean impeachment necessary. It's used as a signal of opposition. And this is James Comey. He's hardly a radical. Seriously, the idea that, yeah, that's what it is. He decided to use shells and stones to call for the president to be unalive. That is just such a ridiculous, over-the-top assertion by the people who say, like, everybody stop trying to censor each other on social media. When's comedy gonna be legal again? Like, get all the way off the guy's back. He posted some shells on a beach walk. But anyway, Brett, what do you think?
I mean, I disagree with you, John. I worked for Project Angel Food, and when we 86'd steak, we would then go into the back and murder cows. That's not how anything. 187 is murder, and everybody knows that too.
Yeah.
So if it was 18747, that would be something. That is explicitly murder. Also, Jack Posobiec, or whatever his name is,
doesn't matter,
once tweeted 8646 with a space in between. Are they gonna go after that guy? And there's a difference between 86, which we pointed out what that actually means to most people, and standing in the halls of Congress in the Capitol building yelling, "Hang Mike Pence."
That's an allusion to Shakespeare.
Right, yeah, no, it's absolutely clear. And these guys are trying to get us on a hypocrisy or something. No, you're the hypocrites.
Yeah.
They're the absolute hypocrite. No one cares when someone's being a hypocrite. It only feels good for someone to call out the other side for their hypocrisy. Whereas typically most people like that are online chronically don't care about their own hypocrisy. And that's that's like, I think the new calculus that John and I should write a book about like whose feed are you in? And then once you realize you're in a certain feed, you've gotten into a certain feed, what do? And how do you behave differently? But in this scenario, like 8647 just means let's get this guy out of our lives.
That's all it means. That's literally all it means. God, they're such whiny little baby. They so desperately want to be victims. But let's give an example of that.
There's better memes out there that are like, I want him dead. Like there's tons of memes out there like, come on.
Great ones. Great ones. The best.
They're just excellently like understated like looks on someone being like, like that guy.
There you go. By the way, just in case MAGA's watching, see what I was doing was joking. I know that you want free speech to be a thing of the past. I understand that. I was joking, and I want comedy to be illegal. And I'll do 45 minutes on that in my upcoming special on Netflix, Triggered. Anyway, here's Donald Trump on Fox complaining about the shells.
He knew exactly what that meant. A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country's become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he wasn't calling for violence. But
look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen? What do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this: I think it's a terrible thing. And when you add his history to that, if he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop. And if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency. But I'm going to let them make that decision.
Every part of that was utter bizarro world nonsense. He's a dirty cop because he didn't allow himself to become a political weapon for Donald Trump under the first term. Let's be very clear about that. People like me. No, they don't. Not based on the polls. People like what's happening in America. No, not based on the polls. We're respected around the world. No, again, not based on the polls. There's really no evidence of that. And he definitely knows what it means. That's the only, no, it's not what it means, actually. That's not at all what it means. And by the way, let's say that Comey did want to send a message that someone will act on. Comey appeals to Democrats these days, and as yet, no Democrat has tried to take out Donald Trump. If he wanted that message, you need a right winger to deliver it because those are the only ones actually trying to unalive the president historically. But in any event, we do have to pointlessly point out the hypocrisy, which I will correct one thing Brett said. It has long since stopped really feeling good for me to point out hypocrisy because I know it doesn't matter. It used to. So Donald Trump posted this back in the day. That's an image of a Trump supporting truck with, if we zoom in, Joe Biden hogtied in the bed. That is so much less ambiguous than 8647. He spread that to his followers who are violent. Let's see, you have Don Jr. complaining about James Comey here, saying he's calling for my dad to be murdered. Don Jr. was also the one that did multiple jokes about Nancy Pelosi's husband's skull being cracked open. He thought that was hilarious. Donald Trump has also joked about that vicious attempted assassination on Nancy Pelosi. Thought it was super funny, and that's just universal across MAGA. Paul Gosar had his little anime thing where him and Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Greene are killing Biden and killing AOC. Oh, it's so funny. We're so badass. We're killing them. It's funny. You had Elon Musk sharing violent videos where Donald Trump murders Harris. Really fun. Lots of fun stuff. Trump had also, I skipped over this, I apologize. Trump said that Second Amendment people should stop Hillary Clinton, which, that can only mean one. What do you mean? Do you mean you want her to be well regulated? I don't think that's what you mean by Second Amendment. It means you want them to use their guns on her. So again, they have delighted and generated brands for themselves of pushing the idea that there will be violence against individual Democrats or against Democrats at large, that we're gonna have an awesome civil war. It has been constant blood and guts out of these people. And then James Comey drops a couple of shells on the beach and they melt down, calling for the AG to lock him up. It's utterly pathetic, Brett.
Donald Trump is such a wuss bag.
He's the biggest wuss bag.
Like he wasn't in a fight with someone. No one attacked him. A bullet whizzed by his ear. And he got up and was like, yeah, fine. But like every time you see this guy in an interview, he's saying words like it's so unfair being a billionaire. Oh my gosh. There were pictures of shells on someone's Twitter. And I can't do anything anymore. And people are stupid when they are being, in his idea, he's so like double talky. People are stupid when they're being smart, and they're smart when they're being stupid. Like, oh, James Comey, competent enough to know what 86ing means. Yes, because 86ing doesn't mean the thing you say it means all the time.
Yeah,
it means get him off the menu. Like
that's what it means.
And also, like, it's up to Pam. Nothing's up to Pam Bondi. For those of you who don't know, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington did a very comprehensive report. I made a video about it. It's coming out this weekend. Where like the reason that Pam Bondi is the attorney general is because she's a corrupt person who will play ball with corrupt people. Like that report says that back in the day when Pam Bondi was the attorney general of Florida, she was investigating 22 counts or 22 accusations of fraud against the Trump entities. And then went and solicited Trump for a $25,000 donation, which his foundation illegally gave. And magically after that, her organization or the attorney general's office was like, we only got one complaint. False, provably false. We're not gonna investigate him anymore because there's nothing to look into. False, provably false. And then the Trump organization went around and was like, actually, we gave the money to a different organization that sounds the same, which is legal for us to give to. False. They then later said, it was a clerical error. These guys are utterly corrupt. And they found each other. And now they're in charge of the country. And now they're going to take a photo of some shells on a beach and pretend that that is worse than everything they have already put out themselves in front of us, saying that you should kill Nancy Pelosi's husband and you should go kill Nancy Pelosi and that you should hang Mike Pence.
Yeah. So should we take from this like, hey, at least once they do this, then going forward, AOC gets in. Every one of these right wingers is going to post a thing about how she should be shot, and we lock them up. Just lock them up. Which we need to learn lessons. They're teaching us lessons. Will we learn them? We get to lock them up, and there will be so many that doing trials would be really inefficient. We need justice. So due process is done. We're looking into it. No habeas corpus. We need to learn these lessons, people. I'm being somewhat sarcastic. If you can't tell, don't lock me up.